Hi, it's Money44 here, and today I want to welcome you in the review of the Jefftron Leviathan Advanced MOSFET. Thanks Jefftron for sending me to the review. Now, let's get started. Leviathan is an advanced control unit for airsoft guns with version 2 gearbox that we can control with our smartphone and which gives us a whole lot of possibilities, such as ability to set fire modes to all selector positions, even safe. Double trigger mode, replica will fire every time you pull and release the trigger. Free bursts mode that we can adjust from 2 to 20 shots. Radar fire control with crisp semi-shot. Adjustable active braking. Precock function that gives us ability to precock the piston for a faster reaction on semi. Ability to set delay between shots. Additionally, unit can inform us about low voltage on the battery, amount of shots taken. Unit itself can have few profiles for different setting. We can also update the unit for more function in future, and changing settings takes instant effect without sending to the unit or entering some special programming mode. Today I will show you quickly how to install it and what function it has, and we'll test it in the battle. Let's start with an unboxing. In box we'll find a big patch with Leviathan logo, installation manual that I highly recommend to stick to, special trigger with adjustment, needed pad and screw, and most important, the Leviathan control unit itself, in my case with rear wiring. Our patient for today will be my good old Spetsna Arms SAB-12. But for now, gearbox is all we need. Thanks to the quick spring change system, working on this gearbox is easier than on a normal one. After opening the gearbox, we can start to uninstall all parts. Some of them will no longer be needed, such as mechanical trigger safety, cut-off lever, stock trigger and hold trigger switch with wiring. Before installing any new parts, I will degrease gearbox shell with rubbing alcohol. Okay, let's get to the installation. Remember to use manual. In place of the trigger switch, we install the unit with one screw. Because unit works on micro switches, we must check if it's placed right. If micro switch is not engaged, we will have to move whole unit up, down or from side to side to align it right. In stock gearbox shell from Spetsna Arms, it works perfect without any adjustment. Next we can check other side if any part of the unit is not touching the gearbox shell, and is the mounting screw not too long. If it is, we will have to file it down. On the other side of gearbox shell we can install the foam pad that we got in the kit. It's time for some cable management. I advise to check image in the manual how to place them. Wires are thick and hard, so it's not the easiest part. If your gearbox shell has pins in this place, it's time to grind them off, or you will not be able to close your gearbox. While installing the trigger, we have to check two things. If you are adjusting trigger travel, be sure to secure adjustment screw with some Loctite or super glue, otherwise it will get loose from the vibration. Also, we have to check if the trigger spring arm isn't too long and is it touching the unit itself. If it is, like in my case, just use some pair of pliers and cut a small part of it so it's only resting on the gearbox shell. After installing piston gear and selector plate that I forgot to record, we can assemble lower part of the replica and test if everything is okay. After plugging battery in, motor will vibrate once and we can connect the unit with Leviathan app available for Android and iOS. Now we can check if everything is as should be. Go under status and check if micro switches detect bullet trigger, semi-fire mode, auto fire mode and if it detects position of the piston gear. If it does, all we have to do is assemble the replica and it's done. If any micro switches is not engaged, you may have to adjust the unit position in the gearbox shell. Let's check what modes we have available. Standard settings are safe, semi and burst/full auto. That means when you pull the trigger once it will shot burst, and while holding it will function in full auto mode until released. As I said earlier, we can change safe mode to anything else. For test I will put it in dual trigger mode. Replica will shot every time trigger is pressed and released. For safe we have all other modes available like the other positions. Except the burst/full auto mode, we can also set semi-burst mode. One trigger pull will give us semi and long will be burst. Cool mode if you want to set a double tap without losing semi or full auto. If we are at the burst, I have to say that we can adjust how many shots are in it, from 2 to 20. For testing I set 5 round burst and 10 round burst. Of course, we have option to use only burst or full auto. If our replica has too big rate of fire, we can adjust it with one slider. We also have active braking function with variable power that can be useful for AEGs that has overspin problem and makes 2 shots on semi. Thanks to precocking, we can adjust how far back should piston be set after shot, so next one will be instantaneous. On M120 spring, stock Spetsna arms motor does a poor job and I had to set it to max 40% for it to work as it should. For best performance, I recommend using a better motor. We can also set delay between shots so we can spam on semi, function useful if we want to simulate time between shots in like real steel. Additionally, we can set what battery we use so the unit can warn us about low charge. We can set multiple profiles and change them depending on what time of gameplay we are using. That's all for dry test, it's time for a field run. Unit worked as intended. Before gameplay I have resetted the BB counter, thanks to it I know how many shots I have taken that day and how much did battery discharge. Thanks to the app I was able to change full auto mode to burst in the middle of a game. Leviathan unit is very interesting option for users searching for an advanced control system for their AEG. It's worth noting that it does use micro switches instead of optical sensors, what is a plus and a minus. Plus, because we don't have to secure gearbox shell with stickers to avoid light bleeds that will destabilize operation of replica. But we have mechanical switches that durability we will know after some time of use. Unit itself is quite simple to install, gives many options thanks to the smartphone app, and its price tag is closer to Perun Optical than more expensive Titan. Leave a comment, what do you think about MOSFETs like this? Do you prefer simple ones or the more advanced like the Leviathan? If you want to see this beast in action, consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that bell. And for now, thanks for watching and see you next time.